Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kim, it's Ghost. You can call me Alan. It's Monday, the 20th of October 2025, a Blu-ray release day here in the UK. Two big titles coming out today that interest me: The Fantastic Four and Jurassic World Rebirth. And I've managed to avoid reviews and trailers for both. I want to go in with no expectations at all. On a side note, it's Danny Boyle's birthday today. He is turning 69 years old. It's also John Krasinski's birthday as well. He's somewhat younger. He is turning 46. Anyway, it's Blu-ray release day. I'm about to head off to HMV to film the latest releases, grabbing a nice hot latte from Costa Coffee along the way, not a sponsor. So I'll see you all back here for the conclusion. I'll see you soon. So here I am in HMV, and in no particular order, I'm going to start with The Fantastic Four First Steps. This is a superhero movie from this year set on Earth 828. In case you're wondering, our Earth is Earth 616, the Multiverse of Madness Earth is Earth 838, and the X-Men Earth with Wolverine and Deadpool is Earth 10005. Hope that makes some sense to you. So this is set on Earth 828 in 1964, where the Fantastic Four reside. This is from the director of WandaVision, Matt Shakman, and the Blu-ray for this is priced at £14.99, whereas the 4K is priced at £24.99. Next is Jurassic World Rebirth. This is a science fiction action movie from this year, directed by Gareth Edwards, and this is set 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion, where scientists tried to obtain DNA from roaming dinosaurs for medical advancements. And this stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend. The Blu-ray for this is priced at £14.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. In addition, there is a 7-movie collector set on Blu-ray that is priced at £39.99. And there's also a 7-movie collection set on 4K and that is priced at £79.99. Next is The Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is a musical comedy horror from 1975 directed by Jim Sharman. And this is about a couple whose car breaks down in the rain at night only for them to call on a house to use their telephone, but the house is owned by an alien scientist transvestite called Frankenfurter. Brilliant film with Tim Curry as Frankenfurter, Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick as Brad and Janet, a couple who break down, and a whole host of odd house guests. They include Richard O'Brien, Patricia Quinn, Christopher Biggins and Meatloaf. Great music, great movie. The Blu-ray is priced at £11.99, the 4K is priced at £24.99, and a nice addition for sale is The Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror. And this one is 1.5 hours. It's a documentary of the cult classic that was produced and directed by Richard O'Brien's son, Linus. This documentary is priced at £14.99. Next is Project Genesis. This is a sci-fi monster action movie from last year. It's about a female scientist called Stella, whose father disappeared years ago. He was working on a top secret machine for the government, and now she finds out that he is trapped in an alternate timeline, and she sets off through time and space to find him. The Blu-ray is priced at £15.99 and the 4K is priced at £27.99. Odd Taxi, the complete season next, which aired in April through to June 2021. This contains all 13 episodes spread onto 2 discs, and it follows a walrus taxi driver called Hiroshi and various passengers, all of which have a unique story to tell. It's got a total runtime of 325 minutes and will set you back £34.99. Aeon Flux on 4K next. This is a science fiction action movie based off an animated TV show of the same name. It's from 2005 and stars Charlize Theron, Johnny Miller, Sophie Okonedo, Frances McDormand and Pete Postlethwaite. This is set in 2415, 4 centuries after a deadly pathogen wiped out 99% of the Earth's population. This is priced at £24.99. Hammer Horrors next from Hammer Films. This set includes The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957, Dracula from 1958, and The Mummy from 1959. All 3 were directed by Terence Fisher and each star Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. All 3 movies will set you back £39.99 and it carries a 12 certificate. Made in Abyss Season 2, The Golden City of the Scorching Sun next. This is an anime TV series. It's about 3 adventurers who travel down to the 6th layer of the Abyss and encounter the ruins of the Golden City, where they also discover strange beings that dwell there. This collector's edition is priced at £69.99. The Town That Dreaded Sundown next from 88 Films, spy number 57 in the slasher classic range. So this is an American slasher from 1976 that's loosely based on a true story about a Texas Ranger called J.D. Morales, played by Ben Johnson, who is trying to track down a serial killer in 1946. Lots of extras on this release, which is priced at £16.99. Freaky Tales, the collector's edition on 4K next. This is one of those VHS size editions with the VHS logo on the bottom right corner. This is an anthology action comedy from last year depicting 4 true interconnected stories set in 1987 in Oakland, California, USA. Stars Pedro Pascal, Ben Mendelsohn, Jay Ellis, Jack Champion and Tom Hanks. This is priced at £24.99. Severance next from Icon Film Distribution. This is a comedy horror from 2006 directed by Christopher Smith. It's about a handful of co-workers from a defence sales division who go on a team building weekend in a cabin located in an isolated mountain region of Hungary. Safe to say it doesn't work out well for the team as they're hunted by deranged poachers. This stars Danny Dyer and Laura Harris, and the Blu-ray is priced at £12.99, and there's also a 4K which is priced at £24.99. This movie carries an 18 certificate. The limited edition of Eyes Without a Face on 4K from the BFI next. This is a French horror from 1960 about a plastic surgeon whose daughter is disfigured in a car crash and he becomes determined to perform a face transplant for her at the cost of 2 young women's lives. But will he perfect the procedure? Well, you have to watch it and find out. This edition comes with a booklet and is priced at £24.99. No Orchids for Miss Blandish, aka Black Dice from 88 Films. Next, this is a British gangster film from 1948 and it stars Lyndon Travers as Miss Blandish, wealthy woman who is kidnapped for ransom but falls in love with her kidnapper, Slim, who's played by Jack LaRue. Now, despite being a British production with English actors, this film is set mainly in New York and it's said to have horrified the census board with the amount of violence in this movie. This one is priced at £16.99. Smurfs next on Paramount Pictures. This 2025 animated musical comedy boasts the voice talents of Rihanna, James Corden, Nick Offerman, Jimmy Kimmel, Octavia Spencer, Hannah Waddingham, Kurt Russell and John Goodman. This one is priced at £14.99. Afterburn next. This is a post-apocalyptic action movie from this year. The Earth's tech has been decimated by a solar flare a decade earlier, and the King of England, who's played by Samuel L. Jackson, hires an ex-soldier played by Dave Bautista to track down the whereabouts of the Mona Lisa and bring it to him. Sounds like a hoot. This one is priced at £14.99. Beasts of War next from Signature Entertainment. This is set in 1942, where a ship is sunk by an enemy, and the few remaining Australian soldiers who are floating on bits of wood have to deal with a great white shark trying to pick them off one at a time. This is based on true events and is priced at £14.99. Clue next on 4K from Paramount Pictures. This is a black comedy murder mystery. It has 3 different endings which you can have picked at random for you. This is about 6 strangers who are invited to a large house where they're all under suspicion of murder. And it stars Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, Eileen Brennan, Leslie Ann Warren and Billy Henderson. This one is priced at £24.99. Next is Speak No Evil, a 4K psychological horror from 2022. This follows an American couple who are on holiday in Italy. They meet what seems like a nice British couple who invite them back to their remote farmhouse in Devon. Yeah, it's never a good sign. And once there, the fun and games begin and the true colours are revealed. This stars James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis and Scoot, real name John McNary. This one is priced at £21.99. So out of this week's releases, I will be picking up Fantastic Four First Steps and Jurassic World Rebirth, and they will feature in a future video once I've seen them. Hey everybody, welcome back. Quite a mixture of titles today. 1 TV show, 2 that star Hugh Grant. So let's crack on with it. First one to show you is Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. This is a romantic comedy drama from this year directed by Michael Morris. This being his second movie. He's done plenty of television work on shows such as Kingdom, House of Cards, Better Call Saul, and many others. Now, when we last saw Bridget Jones, she had a 1-year-old boy called William, and this is set some years later. Bridget is now a mother of 2 children, William and Mabel. William is 10 years old, played by Casper Noff, and Mabel is 6, and played by Mila Yankovic. Mark Darcy, who is played by Colin Firth, he passed away 4 years previously, but he does pop up as a figment of Bridget's imagination. And this is established very quickly in the film, so it's not really a big reveal. Now, Bridget returns to work, decides to dip her toe back in the dating game, and she meets a handsome 29-year-old park ranger who actually rescues her children when they get stuck up a tree. He even actually helps Bridget down as well, so they start seeing each other despite her being 51 years old. Bridget Jones, by the way, is played by Renée Zellweger. Meanwhile, actually that's all I'm going to say story-wise, but I'll mention it also stars Nico Parker as a nanny. Nico was in The Last of Us and the new How to Train Your Dragon movie. Also stars Hugh Grant, Isla Fisher as Bridget's neighbour, and Chiwetel Ejiofor as a teacher at Bridget's school. So if you like the other Bridget Jones movies, then you're going to love this one. Picture quality is superb, as you'd expect from a film of this age, and it's got a runtime of 1 hour 59 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipcover and the cover have the same image, and the front cover image has been put onto the disc. So that was Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. Okay, next one to show you is Doctor Who Season 20. This aired from January through to March 1983, but also includes a special which aired in November of that year. The Doctor here is played by Peter Davison, his second full season as the Doctor, and he will continue until story arc number 6 of Season 21, which we're all still waiting for a release of. There are 6 story arcs in this season, and they are Arc of Infinity, which is told over 4 episodes, followed by Snake Dance, another 4 episodes, Baldwin Undead, another 4 episodes, Terminus, another 4 episodes, Enlightenment, which has another 4 episodes, and then The King's Demon, which 2 episodes. And then we have the final story, which is the special titled The Five Doctors, which features all the previous Doctors, including archive footage from William Hartnell, who sadly passed away 8 years before this aired, so Richard Hundle fills in for him with the other scenes. You've got Tom Baker, who refused to join the cast, so the producers cleverly used unused footage from previously unaired and unfinished episodes. Now, each single episode has a runtime of 25 minutes, and the special runs at 1.5 hours, giving an overall runtime of 718 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slip box and the cover have the same image, just on the cover the title has been removed. There are 9 discs inside, each one has a different image. On the reverse of the cover, there's an image inside the TARDIS, and there is a 16-page episode guide. So that was Doctor Who Season 20. Next one to show you, and this film's been in my collection for quite some time, but I'm getting around to it today. And the film in question is The Gentleman, an action comedy from 2019, co-written and directed by Guy Ritchie. And this one stars Matthew McConaughey as Mickey Pearson, a well-educated but poor American who starts out by selling weed, makes his way up and builds himself an empire, and he's not adverse to violence as well. He also has a lot of contacts with the elite, people with family wealth. His whole story is narrated by Fletcher as a movie pitch. Fletcher is a private investigator played brilliantly by Hugh Grant, and Fletcher's hired to do a deep dive on Mickey's life and his financials by Big Dave, who runs a newspaper. Dave is played by Eddie Marsan, because it turns out a character called Lord Pressfield, who's linked to Mickey, helps him grow cannabis on his land, all hidden of course, snubbed Big Dave, and now he has a personal axe to grind with him. So Mickey, as it turns out, supplies Pressfield with lots of money he needs to help his drug-addicted daughter, Laura, who's played by Elliot Summer, Sting's daughter. I'll leave the story there, but there's so much more going on. I've only scratched the surface. Now, this stars Charlie Hunnam as Raymond. He is Mickey's right-hand man. There's also Michelle Dockery as well as Mickey's wife. Michelle was Lady Mary in Downton Abbey. There's also Colin Farrell as coach. He runs a gym. He handles a group of YouTubers who rip off Mickey. This was a great movie, excellent characters, solid pacing. Grant and Hunnam were both standout characters in this film for me. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 53 minutes and it zips by. Let's take a look inside. So this one comes with a translucent disc. So that was The Gentleman. Okay, next and last is Death of a Unicorn. This is a comedy horror from this year that was produced and directed by Alex Sharfman, this being his first feature film. Now this movie stars Paul Rudd, the man who never seems to age. Paul is playing a lawyer called Elliot. He's travelling with his daughter Ridley to his boss's house in the Canadian Rockies for the weekend. Ridley is played by Wednesday's Jenna Ortega, and Elliot's boss Odell is played by Richard E. Grant. Now on their way to Odell's house, Elliot gets distracted. He sneezes because he's got hay fever, and he hits a large animal with his car. And as the title suggests, that animal is a unicorn. The unicorn is barely alive, and Elliot and Ridley essentially get out the car to finish it off. But before Elliot delivers that fatal blow with a tire iron and getting blood all over themselves, Ridley touches the unicorn's tusk and has an out-of-body experience. They take the unicorn's corpse with them to Odell's house. Odell is incredibly wealthy, happens to be dying from incurable cancer, but the blood that's splattered on both Elliot and Ridley just so happens to be the cure for everything really. Acne, hay fever, the need to wear glasses, and possibly incurable cancer as well, but I won't say any more. But I will mention also stars Tia Leone as Odell's wife Belinda. There's also Will Poulter as their son Shepard, both horrible characters. It's got a very good blend of humour and gore in this. Villains are completely despicable. I recommend this one. Picture quality of course was flawless, and it's got a runtime of 1 hour 47 minutes. Let's take a look inside. On the disc we have a purple background with a white title. So that was Death of a Unicorn, and you can see there it's not your typical portrayed unicorn. So that was it. Have you seen any of those? Do you plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment? Then do so down below. I will read every single one and I'll try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? On that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.